Hey, Mr. Browngardt, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Thank you very much for joining with me today to talk about the day the Earth blew up. It was surprisingly emotional, and I love that.
Cool.
All right, so my first question, in regards to Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and Petunia Pig, how did that decision come about? What factors, if any, led to that specific lineup of characters?
I knew I wanted to do them specifically, Porky and Daffy, early on, right from the get-go of conceiving the film. When I pitched the film to the studio, the reason was is because they're kind of the only Looney Tunes character that I can think of that don't want to kill or eat each other.
Okay.
They're a friendship relationship early on, and the early shorts from the 30s and 40s, and they are sort of buddy comedy shorts. And I knew I wanted to tell a story where characters have, like you said, an emotional journey, because it's a movie. I feel like you have to have that
Yeah.
larger story, longer story for the audience to engage in. But yeah, it was them, and also I knew I wanted to do a genre film, a sci-fi genre film. But yeah, that's the main reason, because I felt like I could tell a longer story with that without having to service the elephant in the room of, hey, why isn't Elmer shooting off Bugs Bunny's head, or why isn't Sylvester trying to eat Tweety, or whatever. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Besides bringing forward these classic characters, were there any Looney Tunes series that you drew inspiration from in regards to this movie? And as a follow-up question, how did you come up with the design for the gum monster that gets loose in Petunia's lab?
okay, I'm a fan of the ones I did for Max. Did 209 shorts,
Yep.
but I'm mostly just the classic Looney Tunes that were made from the 1930s to the 1960s. The 4 decades, the 1,000 cartoons of the great directors Chuck Jones, Bob Clampett, Fritz Freeling, Robert McKimson, Tex Avery. So those are my biggest influence. Not only for making more Looney Tunes or new Looney Tunes stuff, but just as a filmmaker in general and an artist. I think they're some of the greatest things ever made. And then the Gum Monster, we knew I wanted to do kind of a horror set piece. I wanted to do kind of a suspenseful, spooky sort of set piece. Big fan of horror in general. I love Sam Raimi Evil Dead movies. I love George Romero zombie movies. I love classic sci-fi movies from the 50s, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, whatnot. So the gum monster specifically, we knew it was a gum monster in the script, and we did some boarding. It was kind of vague, but Nick Cross really helped with the visual of that. He was our art director. He did some character concepts and really honed in on getting that creepiness and that sort of turning gum into a character, I guess you could say.
Yeah, good. Um, well, you pretty much answered my next question, but we'll go to the following up one. If we can jump back a minute to what you mentioned before, the 2020s Looney Tunes cartoons on Max, what is it about this long-standing animated franchise that made you initially want to be a part of it?
Um, well, in 2017, I got approached by someone at Warner Brothers. To They were talking about making some new Looney Tunes content, and I was always a fan. And it's a very daunting and scary thing to think of, like, oh, I'm going to try to make new Looney Tunes like that. There's already these classics that are so beloved. But I thought I could. I thought I had the right. I saw what they were doing recently, and I thought I could do my own take on it and sort of bring it back. Wanted to bring it back to the style of the old ones.
Mhm.
That's really it. I mean, it is. I told myself, but also the crew, this, and the people involved, is that we're standing on the shoulder of these giant directors and filmmakers that made these great shorts, and I'm just hoping not to fall off their shoulders and flat on our face. So, but I just trusted my instincts, and I try not to think about it too much, because if you did, you can kind of psych yourself out. So
Yeah. Yep.
oh, I have this opportunity. I'm going to try my best and just take it day by day, and and trust your gut. And I knew a lot of the right people that I thought taste wise were artists taste wise that could help sort of make new Looney Tunes content and stuff.
Okay. This is the first fully animated, wholly original Looney Tunes theatrical picture in history. That's a long-winded sentence. Saying that, what was the most important for you as the director to convey on screen? Was it a feeling that you wanted to evoke, nostalgia? For me, Farmer Jim really got to me. That was great.
Oh, cool. I just wanted to make I just wanted to make something that felt worthy to the Looney Tunes brand and the characters. I just wanted to bring the characters to tell a story with the characters in a larger format and emotion. I wanted to, like you mentioned, Farmer Jim, but also an emotional story with Porky and Daffy. I thought that was very important and unique. I didn't want to change them. I didn't want at the end of the movie it's a new Daffy Duck and it's this way now, or Porky's this way now. I wanted them to have experiences and learn from their experience and feel like they've changed a little bit from the experience, but in the core, Daffy's still nuts and Porky's still a good guy.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I just really wanted to make something that played with style and genre and was true to these characters and wasn't boring and kept an audience engaged and had a pace to it. I wanted to bring more of a modern pace to, even though some of those classic Looney Tunes that like Frank Tashlin did and stuff are very fast, have a very modern pace, more so than you would think.
Okay. Good. My last two questions are exploring the outer world of animation. I wanted to get your opinion, if possible, on Boomerang recently shutting down. In your opinion, will this have any long-term effects on the characters and cartoons of yesteryear?
It's becoming more and more difficult to at times to find classic animation and that's out there, especially with the streaming services are wonderful a lot of the times, but they are also the gatekeepers of what's available. So I always say that if you love something, hunt it down and find a physical copy of it in your house, because I know when I want to watch something that's from the past, I try to keep a copy, the best, a Blu-ray or whatever you can get. But yeah, I do think it's a shame. I think having that stuff on broadcast is important. It's how I got influenced by the Looney Tunes. I mean, there's many ways I got influenced, but when they played old Looney, when Turner bought the library, after school they would put them on TNT, and I used to come home and watch them. And I think having them readily available out there, it's a shame, you know. Boomerang was around for a while too. It's kind of a bummer.
Right.